Welcome to the writings of Patrick S. Smith.
Hello, all. Start with Kathy's not going to be with me in this video. She's working nights and will be for the next couple weeks, so it's making it hard for us to get together to do videos. Making it very hard for us to get together and do just about anything. Simply because we're literally working opposite schedules. No real time together. So we kicked around a couple ideas how to get her to do so we can record her doing a couple more book reviews, maybe another author review. Don't know yet. Just see. We're trying to play it by ear and see how it goes. So that's that. On the status updates on things, been a busy 2 weeks in some respects, and deader on a doornail than others. To start with, the Stafford building may have been picked up. I got a positive feedback from a e-zine that wants, they sound like they want to publish it, but I've not gotten any real confirmation that that's going to happen. So I'm not going to say anything more about it until I get the real confirmation on it. Sometime in the next month, next few months, just as a reminder that my friend Death should be or will be coming out on Bewildering Stories. Just still waiting on that release date. I'm hoping in October, just kind of feels right. Really would like the Stafford to come out in October. That's just a real good fit there, but we'll see how those chips fall. Uh, I spent maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes listening to recording of To Draw a Soul, You Must Give Your Soul, and some cringe, but not as much as I was expecting. So, but I know there's a lot of mistakes I made in it and the edits, so I need to go through and listen to the two takes and I've got and do a third take, just so I could try to hope maybe get lucky and have a complete story in there, or at least minimize how much I have to go back and reread. I do know that I'll have to go back and redo the characters just so that everybody's voice is unique. I don't want to the same dialogue voice for every character. Oops. Bumped the camera there. Oopsie. Uh, in the last video, I mentioned I had drafted a new poem. First time, just a first draft, Dance of the Baristas, and it kind of, sort of triggered ideas for shorts. And the more I let that fester, the more I realized, yeah, not a bad idea. So I've already, started yet another project. Like I need another one, like a hole in the head. But started another project, the Old Rose Cafe. At least is the working title. That's going, as with any working title, that's subject to change at a moment's notice. And have actually 5 stories for it, or at least 5 story ideas. We'll see how big they are, and if it's those 5 by themselves are enough to publish with, or need to go and do more. And the general concept behind it is various people who come into the Old Rose Cafe. I mean, everybody has a story to tell, and this is my way of doing it. You're going to get to see the stories of the people who come in there, or at least part of their story. Uh, Now, one of the 5 is actually going to be a rewrite of something I published before, and I don't know how big of a rewrite it's going to be. And I'll go ahead and say, it's Writer's Purgatory. Uh, I know I'm going to have to rewrite it just to tie it into the Old Rose Cafe, but how much beyond that does it take to make it fit? Just tying it in is not going to, by itself, is not going to be enough. Need to, make sure it tells a good, the story fits the overall theme. A whole bunch of work there. So we'll see how that turns out. But I have high hopes for it. The other big thing I've been doing in the last few days, week, 2 weeks, is trying my hand at drawing and artwork. Reason being, got 2 shorts getting published, so I got to get a thumbnail for them on the blog. I've never been a fan of AI art. It's one thing to use it when I storyboard things, just to capture an idea, concept that give you a visual reference there, or if I'm actually, when I've been able to work with an artist, say, here's the idea I had, it's AI, but gives you an idea because I don't like this part and this is what I was thinking. It's just that visual tool to help communicate with. And but I've also been using it on the thumbnail images for the poetry and the short stories. So, but I want to get away from that. I want real art or photographs. For a lot of what I write, that you're never going to find a photograph for. They don't exist. Some of them you get lucky with. Mail call's a good example. Those were the photos used in that were ones I took when I was in Iraq in 2003, I think. So luckily I had those floating around that I could use those. But that's a me thing. I don't, and it's one reason why my time among the elves hasn't been published, because it's not, I've not been able to land an agent yet, and I don't have cover art for it. So here again, it's not going to fly with just a plain cover. So it's a lot of baby steps, though. I've done the first rough image, and I say rough, this is iteration 1 of infinity, for my friend Death. And for somebody who failed finger painting, I'm 100 times better than what I was then. That's exciting. And I've gotten a little bit of feedback on it, where I've talked with some people, and they're grabbing the concept, they see it, what it could be, what I'm trying to convey there. So that's a big plus. It just, like I say, for somebody who failed finger painting, it just really stroked my ego real good, because it's like, hey, I can do this. I just, more practice, and more patience, and you'll get it. And keep trying new things, keep expanding. So it takes away from the time to write, but at the same time, it's one of these, I change gears for a little bit, and then when I sit down to write again, the floodgates are going to open, and I'm going to crank out a lot in a short period of time. It's just trying to keep the brain fresh and keep things moving that way. So that's it for now. Everybody take care. If you like this, hit the like button, subscribe for the notifications. Be sure to check out my books on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and wherever else. Don't forget the audio version of The Chaos of Me is out on Spotify, Audible, and several other places there too. So y'all take care, and I'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. You can find more of my books on Amazon.com. Also, you can find more of my stories and poems at patricssmithauthor.wordpress.com. The links are in the description. Thank you.